I'm Kevin Coleman with the Setup Post, and you guys just had a conversation with the Ross County Commissioners, and you represent Downtown Chillicothe Inc.
Correct.
Can you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, my name is Ben Daughters, and I currently serve as the board president.
I'm Tiffany Baldwin. I'm the program manager.
And you invited the commissioners to have a representative on your board.
Yeah, absolutely. So our organization was founded in 2018, and we've been working really quite diligently over the last 7 years to figure out how do we support economic activity in the downtown, how do we focus on historic preservation, and how do we just work together better as a community to make sure that that the future is better for all of us. And one of the things that we've really realized in the last couple of years is that it takes really great collaboration between the private sector and the public sector. And so part of our work on the board has been really focused in the last year on how do we get better integration between the city administration, the city council, and now hopefully the county commissioners.
You had spoken Monday night, speaking with City Council, concerns about the ACGP project.
Sure.
Yalkinji Park.
Yeah.
I have your letter, I have your script and your video of your speaking in my story. Anything further, anything additional to that you'd like to say?
You know, I think the biggest thing from downtown Chillicothe's perspective is that we want to make sure that the concerns of business owners, property owners, community stakeholders, everyone in the community that gets to enjoy all the great things about our downtown, that their concerns are being heard. And so last week in City Council, we hoped to be the voice of a lot of those concerns from the business community that we're hearing. And we think it's important that as the ACGP project moves forward, that we all work together, we all listen to each other, and we figure out how do we mitigate those concerns while bolstering the project to the greatest ability that we can.
And you touched on that a little bit this morning about how if people can't see the destination, they may not go there, especially with parking.
Yeah, I don't know if I explained it as well as I could have in the meeting with the commissioners, but you know, one of the concerns that we hear downtown often is that we have a parking problem, and we certainly have challenges with parking. There's things that we can certainly do better, and I used that as an example to contrast to maybe someone, whether they're going to Kroger or to Walmart or some other big box location in the community, that it's psychologically easier for people to not feel like there's a parking problem if they can see the door of where they're going to. And so that's often the challenge that downtown has to combat, is that a lot of times the parking, you can't physically see the door of the business that you're going to visit, even though you might be parking just right around the corner from it.
You may be closer than you are at a big box store.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the perception is I can't see the door, so I'm far away. There's a parking problem, and so I use that as an example to highlight that you know, there's a lot of talk of where the features in the park are going to go and how they benefit the community and all that sort of thing. And certainly those are all worthwhile debates to have. But again, from downtown Chillicothe's perspective, our focus is how do those amenities that are going in the park, does their physical location benefit economic activity, drive economic activity that's ultimately going to support our downtown business owners, support our investors, and allow us to preserve our history, preserve our buildings through economic activity. And our concern is that if the amenities in the park aren't within physical, visual proximity to the downtown, we're concerned that even though they might be just a little over there, just a little over there, that if a visitor can't see it when they leave one of the amenities that are going to be built in the park, that they lose interest in maybe going a little further to explore. Oh, I can see the next thing over there. What's to be discovered?
They may just go over on Riverside Street in the north.
That would certainly be a big concern that we have from downtown Chillicothe's perspective. They get back in the car and they go back up Bridge Street. Not that there's anything wrong with Bridge Street, but our focus is advocating for downtown.
Tiffany, on a different note, the kiosk in front of the courthouse. I had, in a Facebook post, I had asked, I thought this was going to be interactive, and I was a little ahead of the cart.
That's
or
okay.
ahead of the horse.
It looks stationary right now, doesn't it? There's a lot of detail that we have to still plug into the kiosk. With over 300 businesses in the downtown, when you have to upload them all and all their information and their pictures, it does take quite a bit of time to do that. And then we're working with the company that installed it, because they're making the maps of the downtown and adding things like the photo booth and different things like that. So.
And the great thing, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but one of the things that we're most excited about with the kiosk is that it's multilingual. So the intent behind it is, with World Heritage visitors coming to our town, it gives them the opportunity to be able to change the language in the display of the map so that they can find our businesses, they can learn about all the great things that we're doing as a community, and hopefully enhance and make their visit that much better.
Right. You'll be able to take your phone, hold your phone directly up to the kiosk, and they automatically download the instructions onto your phone so you can start traveling to your business.
Okay, so it's physically installed, it just still needs some...
Yes.
Software is
Yes.
still getting worked on.
And then, as you know, it took several months to figure out the electrical issue. So now that's figured. That's one of the hangups too. So even though we started installing it in November, the end of November, it took a couple of months to get the electrical issues figured out. We've overcome those. Now we're doing the programming part.
And we have a second kiosk
Yes.
that's on standby that we're just waiting for the correct location. And part of that is going to be how does the park improvements come about. It would make logical sense to place the other kiosk right outside of a visitor center, but point is we have another kiosk, and we're excited to find the correct location, again, to help use that as a tool to get our guests to the downtown area.
I think the original thought was at the entrance to the park on Water Street.
Correct. And then the big grant came, and so now we're redirecting.
Okay. One last question. I think Downtown Chillicothe Inc. is in part a replacement of Downtown Associates. Have you filled those shoes well?
Yeah, so there's an interesting history going back there quite a ways. We've had the Downtown Associates, we've had the Downtown Partnership, we had the Downtown Development Commission, which came about during Mayor Everson's time in 2014. Gosh, there might even be others that I'm not thinking of, but that was part of the problem that we identified as a group of volunteers that are trying to advocate and support the advancement of downtown, that there were all these different entities that were all kind of doing the same thing, but it was confusing to people. And so hopefully one of the things that we've been able to accomplish is really unifying all those efforts and getting everyone on really a unified path towards success for all of us.
I work with Downtown Associates some, and I think it's sort of like herding cats. They're business people, they have their own businesses, and it's sort of hard for them to focus sometimes. So maybe having a good herd dog.
Yeah, I mean, look, being a downtown business owner myself also, I get it. Like, we're busy. It's hard to get everyone on the same page. Everyone is very community focused, but they're also worried about their own business. And so hopefully having a strong Downtown Chillicothe Incorporated organization that can lead the effort and has the time to be able to come and speak with the commissioners or the city council or whoever to advocate for the things that everyone thinks is important and everyone agrees is important. Hopefully that's one of the things that we can add to support the community.
Do you think Downtown Chillicothe Inc. is going to be stronger and more long-lasting than the other downtown organizations?
Well, that's our hope. So right now we're going through, we're calling it Downtown Chillicothe 2030 strategic planning. And we're only 7 years old, so we're pretty young, and it's taken a while to get the systems of the organization running and that sort of thing. We feel like we've matured to a point as a nonprofit, as an organization, though, where timing is appropriate to say, what do we look like strategically in the future, and really not us, but what does Chillicothe, downtown Chillicothe look like 5-6 years from now? And then once we've kind of painted that picture, defined that objective, now we give ourselves an actionable roadmap to get there. And so this is really the next step for us, is to define this 2030 Chillicothe, downtown Chillicothe vision, and then get us on that path. And then hopefully the next step would be, what do we look like in 2040? What do we look like in 2050? And how do we, again, continue to unify as an organization and as a community, so that really the point of this is that we can all be successful together.
That is only a few years away, 2030.
It is.
When I graduated from high school in 1987, I never thought of 2000.
Yeah.
Outside of my sphere of thoughts. Any other thoughts? How can people learn more?
Well, you can always visit our website, downtownchillicothe.com. I'm always open for conversation, which my information is on the website also, my email and my phone number. They're more than welcome to call me, text me. I'll meet with you, anything. Our Facebook page also is very interactive, so they can go to downtownchillicotheohio.com.
And on Facebook, the Facebook page.
And I guess I would just add to what Tiffany just said of, really our strength lies in the input and really in the input that we get from the downtown business community, downtown property owners, stakeholders, and the community as a whole. We have no desire to sit in a room and come up with a bunch of self-serving ideas. And so the more input that we get, the more collaboration we get between all these entities, the better we can afford each other. And really that's what our objective is. So the input and the participation is really, I think, where our strength lies.
And you also have many events that enhance downtown.
We do. We try to drive foot traffic to our downtown and make it livelier and better opportunity for all. So throughout the year we have 5 major events.
Including an artificial beach.
Including an artificial beach in August, yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.